There have been more voices in the US emphasizing that the US should not have military conflicts with China. This is certainly because the tensions in the relations between the two countries have been escalating. The frontline troops are getting closer and closer, and the US has had real worries of accidental and serious disputes between the two militaries and even accidental shooting of fires. The risk of a China-US military encounter has risen. The reason is that the two countries' diplomatic hostility has continued to increase, and their mutual trust has dropped to almost zero. Metaphorically say, if the wind blows the door shut now, both countries would believe that the other side is banging the door. If an incident like the 2001 in-flight collision in the South China Sea appears again today, it's difficult for the two sides to calm the conflict down and settle it peacefully. Who's to blame for such a delicate situation? Hello everyone, welcome to World of China. In today's video, we are talking about why the US will not attack China and the analytical reason behind it. So stay tuned with us and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Now, if a war bursts out between the United States and China, the conflict between two of the world's most powerful militaries would be horrific. And according to the recent states, the United States could very well lose. The question is, what could cause the United States to fight China? What if China invades and conquers Taiwan, a democratic US partner and arms customer? Would America risk World War III? What if China forces its claim to the Senkaku Islands, which the United States considers to belong to Japan? Does that fall within America's treaty commitments to defend its ally? China's massive arms development has raised doubts around America's ability to defend Taiwan if a war broke out. Reflecting a shifting balance of power in the Pacific, where American forces once dominated, the US official and experts say, in simulated combat in which China attempts to invade Taiwan, the results are sobering and the United States often loses. A conflict over Taiwan remains a worst-case scenario that officials say is not expected, but China's growing military prowess, united with its hostile rhetoric, is turning Taiwan into a potential flashpoint between Beijing and Washington, and a test case for how the US will dare China's superpower ambitions. The civil head of the US military's Indo-Pacific Command, Admiral Philip Davidson, warned senators this month that the US is losing its military edge over China, and Beijing could choose to seize control of Taiwan by force by 2027. US intelligence analysts have warned for more than a decade that China's military strength was advancing at a dramatic pace, and America's supremacy was fading in the Pacific. Only now has the message finally hit home, with simulated conflicts driving home the point. 20 years ago, China had no chance of successfully confronting the US military in the Taiwan Strait. Pentagon executives could count on near-total air superiority and the ability to move aircraft carriers close to Taiwan's eastern coast. But a more flourishing China has advanced its new naval ships, warplanes, cyber and space weapons, and a massive arsenal of ballistic and cruise missiles designed to undermine the US military's sea and air power. According to the wargame experts, when we look at the numbers and ranges of operations that China deploys, it's pretty easy to deduce what their main target is. Pretty much everything they build can hit Taiwan, and a lot of stuff they build really can only hit Taiwan. Every generation of Chinese missiles has longer and longer ranges on them, and the missiles present a growing dilemma for the US in how to infiltrate the area around Taiwan. At some point, China will have sufficient military capability to push the Taiwanese into some kind of settlement, where you never get into a fight, but it's just that warning hanging over the head of Taiwan. If China succeeded in subjugating democratic-ruled Taiwan, it'll send shockwaves through America's chain of alliances and cause other democratic governments in Asia to doubt Washington's reliability and strength. So the question arises, can the USA dare to stop China? As we see, China is already ahead of the United States in several serious areas. The PRC has the largest navy in the world, with an overall battle force of approximately 350 ships and submarines, including over 130 major surface combatants. In comparison, the US Navy's battle force is approximately 293 ships as of early 2020. The PRC has more than 1,250 ground-launched ballistic missiles, or GLBMs, and ground-launched cruise missiles, or GLCMs, with ranges between 500 and 5,500 kilometers. The United States currently fields one type of conventional GLBM with a range of 70 to 300 kilometers and no GLCMs. And here comes the integrated air defense systems. The PRC has one of the world's largest forces of advanced long-range surface-to-air systems, including Russian-built S-400s, S-300s, and domestically produced systems that constitute part of its robust and redundant integrated air defense system architecture. The USA is far behind in this war-game techs and arsenals. Ochmanek and other analysts argue that the United States needs lower-tech weapons to fend off a potential Chinese invasion, and that big-ticket items like fighter jets and Patriot missiles will prove useless in the event of a Chinese assault. They've invested a lot of money in Patriot missiles. Those Patriot missiles are going to die in the first few hours of the war, Ochmanek said. The same goes for fighter jets on the runway targeted by potential Chinese missile salvos. U.S. military officers say the Pentagon needs to shift more weapons and resources to Asia and convert its mindset to take on China. Without a change in U.S. weapons and tactics, the American military could find itself at a disadvantage in Taiwan and across the Pacific, potentially undermining the confidence of allies and partners that look to Washington as a counterweight to China. The threat to U.S. assets in the Western Pacific from these kinds of Chinese weapons has indeed grown enormously in recent times. China views the self-governed island as part of its territory and has never denied the possible use of force to bring it under Beijing's control. China's political leadership sees reunification with Taiwan as a core objective, and Beijing's actions and statements have grown more assertive in recent months. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian said, "The United States should abandon the Cold War zero-sum mentality, view China's development and national defense development objectively and rationally, and do more things that are conducive to mutual trust between China and the United States and regional peace and stability." The United States knows a lot about China's capabilities, but judging its intent is another question. There's another dilemma. War games are one thing and reality is another. Intangibles such as training could affect the consequence. Strong military strength, especially strategic nuclear power, has made the US in deep awe of confronting China. Under the situation that China doesn't proactively attack it, the US knows that it should stick to the bottom line and not push China into a life-and-death fight with it. As long as what China is doing is defending its core interests, China has morality and has nothing to fear. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching the video. Give this video a big thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comment box. For more exciting videos, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. I'll be back with another exciting video soon. Until then, check out our channel for more exciting videos and stay tuned.